All right, so if you're in the enterprise tech world, you've probably heard some chatter about two names, EmpowerID and EmpowerNow. And honestly, there's a bit of confusion out there. Are they competitors? Is one killing off the other? Well, the real answer is way more interesting. It's about a massive strategic pivot. And today, we're going to break it all down for you.
And let's be clear, this isn't just some marketing team slapping on a new label. No. This is a story about a company fundamentally realigning its entire strategy, its tech, its vision, all to go after one of the biggest, baddest challenges in the modern economy. It's a big deal.
So you've got this tale of two products, right? In one corner, you have EmpowerID. That's the legacy, the established player for the human workforce. And in the other corner, EmpowerNow, the new kid on the block, built for the wild world of AI automation. The big question mark in the middle says it all. What's the real story here? Are these two separate paths, or is this all part of some grander plan? Let's dig in.
Yeah, so why does this even matter? I mean, who cares about a name change? Well, because this isn't just about rebranding. It's about how a company with a very, very specific history is staring down a massive, ground-shaking shift in the market. And to really get why they're making this pivot, you got to go back. We have to look at their foundation.
Okay, so let's talk about that foundation, their DNA. Before we can get our heads around where they're going, we have to understand where they've been. Because this is not some fly-by-night startup just chasing the latest buzzword. Nope. This is a strategic move, and it's built on decades of really specific, hard-won experience. So let's start with a number, 20. 20 years. That's 2 full decades spent deep in the trenches, wrestling with some of the most complex, headache-inducing problems in all of enterprise tech.
And what were they doing for those 20 years? They were mastering a field called Identity Governance and Administration, or IGA for short. Just think about the world's biggest companies, and now think about the absolute nightmare of figuring out who gets access to what and why. That's the super complicated puzzle they've been solving. And that experience, that's the bedrock for everything that happens next.
So all that experience basically forged this unique corporate DNA. They developed connector DNA because they got really, really good at making countless different systems talk to each other. They built authorization DNA from the endless work of managing who gets access to what. Then there's enforcement DNA, making sure the rules are actually followed. And finally, audit DNA, the ability to prove everything with an ironclad trail. Remember these 4 pillars, because they are the key to understanding this entire strategy.
Okay, so you've got this deep, specialized DNA. Now, let's hit the fast-forward button to today. Because suddenly, the whole game changed. The market just went through a massive AI gold rush, and this explosion created a brand new, incredibly urgent problem. And, you guessed it, a colossal opportunity.
And this quote right here, it just nails the turning point. ChatGPT proved that agents can do work and use tools. Suddenly, AI wasn't just some science fiction concept. You had AI agents that could actually do things, use tools, and automate tasks in ways we had only dreamed of. The AI gold rush was officially on, folks.
But there's always a but, isn't there? With all that incredible power comes incredible risk. Businesses realized pretty darn quick that letting these powerful AI agents just run wild with no rules, no oversight, well, that's a recipe for absolute disaster. It's pure chaos. And what does that chaos look like in the real world? Well, it looks like AI agents burning through your entire quarterly budget overnight. It looks like hackers injecting malicious tools right into your systems. It looks like unauthorized actions causing massive data breaches. And maybe the scariest part of all, when things inevitably go wrong, you have no audit trail. You have zero idea what happened, why it happened, or how to fix it.
So it's in this chaotic new world that the story takes a massive turn. This is the pivot. The company looked at this huge problem of ungoverned AI and had a light bulb moment. They realized their core DNA, that expertise in connecting, authorizing, enforcing, and auditing, was the perfect toolkit to solve this exact problem. And that realization led to a brand new 2-pronged strategy.
First things first, let's be crystal clear about EmpowerID. Its role is still absolutely vital. Think of EmpowerID as the platform for your human workforce. It handles all that traditional governance, risk, and automation for people. Got it? Good.
So then what about EmpowerNow? This is the new thing. It is a completely new, totally independent platform. It was built from the ground up for one thing: AI automation, AI tools, and AI governance. And this is key. It does not need EmpowerID to work. It stands completely on its own, ready to tackle these new AI challenges.
Okay, so you might be asking, why build a whole separate platform? Why not just tack on a few new features to the old one? And the answer, my friends, comes down to the sheer, mind-boggling scale of the opportunity. This is about deciding to play a much, much bigger game.
And this chart really just says it all. Look at that tiny little bar on the left. That's the old IGA market. It's a niche, right? Now look at the bar on the right. That's the new AI governance market. We're talking about a potential $100 billion arena. They realized they were fighting tooth and nail over 1% of the pie while completely ignoring the other 99%.
And I love this metaphor they used. It's like building a battleship in order to float around your pool. Think about that. They had built this absolute battleship, this incredibly powerful, versatile technology, but they were just using it to float around in the kiddie pool of the IGM market. It was a massive strategic mistake to keep such a powerful weapon aimed at such a tiny target.
And they are absolutely determined not to make that same mistake twice. EmpowerNow is that battleship, and this time, it's not being pointed at the pool. It's being aimed at the entire ocean, that massive, wide-open market of AI governance.
So what does this all mean for the future? What's the big picture here? Well, it means having a clear, unified vision for governing the entire modern workforce, and that means both humans and their new AI coworkers.
And here's the strategy in a nutshell. It's actually super simple, and that's what makes it so powerful. You've got EmpowerID, which keeps its laser focus on governing humans, a stable, necessary market. And then you have EmpowerNow, which is built to go win the future by governing AI. Two platforms, two very clear, complementary missions. Now, this also signals a really critical shift in the company's culture. EmpowerNow is being built as a true product, not a complicated, services-heavy platform. What does that mean? It means customers can actually try it out, partners can install it themselves, and it just works without needing a massive, expensive army of consultants. It's a huge move away from that old, clunky enterprise model.
And if you want to know just how serious they are about this, just listen to this quote. "The hill that I will die on is EmpowerNow has to be 10 to 20% max services revenue." Wow, that's not just some target they hope to hit. That's a non-negotiable core principle. It forces everyone to focus on one thing, building an amazing product that solves problems right out of the box. That is the hill they're willing to die on.
So let's end with this one final thought. AI agents, they aren't coming soon anymore. They're here. They are the new digital workforce. And that means the single most important question for every single business out there is this: who is going to govern them? Who's going to manage the risk and unlock all that incredible potential? Well, with EmpowerNow, this company has just given us its definitive answer.